To make films connected to each other, usually the filmmaker will make a sequel or build a cinematic universe. That way, the films made will be connected, both in terms of story, character, and so on. They will also announce to the public that the films will be connected to each other to form a series of stories. What's interesting is that there are several films that are unexpectedly connected to each other, because the filmmakers did not officially announce it. So what films are apparently connected to each other? Check out the following. Number 6. Unbreakable and Split. M. Night Shyamalan is a famous director who has made many big films. He is famous for not liking sequel films. But all that changed when Shyamalan surprisingly linked the films Unbreakable and Split. The two films are apparently connected. In Unbreakable, the film features Bruce Willis, who plays a character named David Dunn. David Dunn is a security guard who realizes that he actually has super abilities. One of the superpowers he has is his extraordinary endurance, compared to humans in general. Meanwhile, in the film Split, we are presented with a story about a character named Kevin Wendelcrum who apparently has more than 20 personalities in his body, and there is the most dangerous personality called the Beasts.
Something horrible. People and he'll do awful things to you.
Unexpectedly, David Dunn appears in the final scene of the film Split, where he prepares to face another villain named Mr. Glass, played by Samuel L. Jackson. Kevin, David Dunn, and Mr. Glass was finally featured simultaneously in the film Glass, which was released in 2019. People thought that the film Unbreakable would close David Dunn's story, but in fact the film continues right up to Glass. Number 5. From Dusk Till Dawn and Kill Bill. Michael Parks once played the character Earl McGraw, who appeared in the film From Dusk Till Dawn. The film was directed by Robert Rodriguez. What's interesting and unexpected is that Dusk Till Dawn is connected to the film Kill Bill Volume 1 directed by Quentin Tarantino. Even though Earl McGraw was shot dead in the film From Dusk Till Dawn, that didn't prevent him from appearing in Kill Bill Volume 1.
It's for me to kill.
McGraw's body appeared to be lying lifeless, where his body was at a wedding venue where the bride's wedding in Kill Bill Volume 1, actually a collaboration between directors Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. This is because McGraw's character also appears in Planet Terror by Rodriguez, as well as Death Proof by Tarantino. That's why Earl McGraw may be the busiest sheriff of all time. Number 4. Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane. No one would have thought that the Cloverfield Lane was connected to the film Cloverfield, which was released in 2008. Cloverfield is known for its use of the found footage concept, where the visuals in the film are presented as amateur footage taken by one of the characters with his video camera. The film tells the story of a city that is attacked by a mysterious giant creature. A young man named Hug recorded the incident with his video camera, and the film presents the events as amateur footage. At the end of the film, the giant creatures are still roaming around. It turns out that the story in the film was continued in 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was released in 2016. No one would have thought that this was a sequel to Cloverfield, even though it had Cloverfield in the title. From the beginning of the film The Cloverfield Lane, there were no signs indicating that this was a sequel to Cloverfield. But everything becomes clearer towards the end of the film, where the main character, Michelle, finds out that out there are many of the same monsters encountered in the film Cloverfield, and the world is being attacked by these monsters. Number 3. Clerks and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. No less than Marvel and DC, which have their own cinematic universes, director Kevin Smith also has a cinematic universe that he has been building since 1994. His cinematic universe is called the Ask Universe. The film that was the pinnacle of his work was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Interestingly, the main character in the film has made cameos in all of You Ask You films such as Dogma and Chasing Amy. But it all started in the movie Clerks. Clerks is indeed connected to the Jay and Silent Bob plot, and it all started with a clerk, Randall Graves, who was fed up with the two people constantly hanging around the mall. He also obtained a restraining order against both of them, which resulted in them both being removed from the area by police officers. This makes them find a new place to hang out, namely at a comic book shop. The plot develops into a crazy adventure that continues all the way to Hollywood. No one would have thought that all these films were connected to each other. Number 2. Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Other films directed by Quentin Tarantino that are connected to each other are Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. The way to find out is when the film features a fake brand called Red Apple cigarettes that appears in most of Quentin Tarantino's films, proving that he often creates his own version of the cinematic universe. Another very early example is related to the character Vic Vega, played by Michael Madsen in the film Reservoir Dogs. Vic Vega is a sadistic character better known as the Diamond Thief, Mr. Blonde. Interestingly, Vic's brother appeared in another tar. Another very early example is related to the character Vic Vega, played by Michael Madsen in the film Reservoir Dogs. The character Vincent Vega himself is played by actor John Travolta. Of course, this is something fans never expected before, that the two films Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction are actually connected. What's interesting, geeks, is that there are plans to make the brothers appear again in a prequel entitled Double V Vega. But unfortunately the film was cancelled.
Film, directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Number 1. Transformers and G.I. Joe. No one expected that in the end Transformers and G.I. Joe will connect. Towards the end of the film Transformers, Rise of the Beasts, the main character, Noah, gets the opportunity to interview for a job at a company that operates in the security sector. But as the interview continued, Noah realized that it was not an ordinary interview.
Tell me about your strengths. In addition to my
The reason is that the interviewer knows that Noah saved the world and promises to pay off all of Noah's bills. Apart from that, the interviewer also promised to pay for Noah's younger brother's medical expenses. After inviting Noah to join, it is revealed that the interviewer is a secret agent who works for an organization tasked with protecting Earth from a major threat, namely G.I. Joe.
Your brother's gonna be just fine.
We are also shown briefly what the headquarters of G.I. Joe, who appears to have advanced equipment. Indirectly, this ending confirms that there will be a crossover between G.I. Joe and the Transformers in the future or the next Transformers film, something we didn't previously imagine. Both Transformers and G.I. Joe is indeed under the auspices of Hasbro and Paramount, so they are free to make the two connected.
G.I. Joe.
There you have it, a few films that connect in unexpected ways. These films offer a unique way of connecting the story or characters in them, which makes them even more interesting. Of these films, which ones do you already know? That's enough for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel to help us to more enthusiastic about presenting other top 10 videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.